That's what I got. How you doing? You feeling good? You struggling?
I am hanging in there.
Let's just go ahead and tell them.
I didn't gargle with rocks today in case my voice sounds like it. Just trying to get over some upper respiratory stuff, and it's not awesome. But God is awesome.
Yes, He is.
So
yes, He is.
He's propping me up tonight.
So we're gonna give you a little leeway.
You gonna cut me some slack?
We're gonna cut you some slack.
Okay, you heard it here.
Yeah. So,
Cutting me some slack.
But we need that upbeat, high energy, wonderful, blind, tinfoil hat.
Where could she be?
That tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist, Sandy.
Yes.
Well, Sandy, we're going to get into the news directly, but I wanted to just start off by just telling everybody that if you didn't already know this, you can now go to our website, LarryRagland.com.
Yes.
And when you go there, you will have one-click access to all 13 of our television episodes now are on our website. Let me just show everybody what I'm talking about, because this is so cool. Everything is one stop now. You can get a copy of our book.
So good.
You can become a partner, and now you can also read. Let's click on this here. This went out last week. I'm a contributor to the. And by the way, I found out it's not called the Epoch Times. It's called the Epoch Times. It's pronounced almost like epic, but it's Epoch Times. So I've been saying it wrong this whole time. It's the Epoch Times. So, but look, this is my article that I've got here, and it's direct linked on our website as well.
Great.
7 Keys to Unlocking a Life of Influence. And I'm really getting a lot of feedback on it. It's really good if you can go there.
It is a great article. You should all go read it.
Thank you. And if you do go there, you'll notice on the right-hand side there where it says 16, that there's places where you can share. We really need you to share and then write a comment on the right-hand side, because that pushes us up in the algorithm. But going back to the website here, you now have one-click access. You click the picture. It's going to take you right to the playlist of all the television shows, all 13 episodes in order for you to watch. So I thought that's pretty cool. So I'm very, very excited about that and honored that we
great.
And of course, none of it would be possible without our partners. And we thank God for all of you, because when you partner with us, you help us. We're now in season 2. And season 2 is the money. It still costs money to go into season 2. So
Yes,
the partners are helping us do that.
It's amazing how that happens, right?
It's amazing how it keeps coming back and forth. All right, let's get into the news tonight. Right off the bat, of course, we have to lead with Israel. Israel is beginning to drop leaflets late this afternoon on southern Lebanon, telling citizens to move north. And, of course, they did that right before they went into Gaza. This is believed to be a heads up that they really believe the war is about to escalate with Hezbollah. This is a copy of the leaflets that are being dropped. This is supposedly showing the flyers dropped by the Israeli army on towns in southern Lebanon, urging them to leave their homes and move more north. And then, of course, this is Hal Turner's website. He said he couldn't confirm 100% authenticity, but it seems to be real. The leaflets are asking residents to evacuate north, and says Hezbollah is operating within residential areas, surprise, and a home used by Hezbollah will be destroyed. So basically they're letting you know, if we know how they operate. We know that they are in many of your homes, they're in your schools, they're in your hospitals.
Yes.
We're letting you know, whether you agree with the tactics of Israel or not, whether you are, I don't know what side you're on right now, but the reality is this: the one thing that Israel didn't get, they didn't get a leaflet.
No,
okay, so
at
least Israel is saying, okay, we're pushing back and we're destroying our enemies, but we're giving you heads up before we come.
So when they do this, we didn't say in this article, typically how long do they give them before? Is it hours?
It's different times. Sometimes it's hours. Most of the times it's 48 hours. But
that seems extremely generous. So.
Yeah. And I hate that means that homes are going to be destroyed and infrastructure is going to be destroyed.
Certainly.
But that's what happens when you have terrorists.
When you harbor terrorists.
When you harbor terrorists.
Hello.
Exactly. So that's going on, and of course America is not by proxy involved anymore. We are actually involved already.
Yes.
Not only have we moved material, not only have we moved facilities there, but things are escalating with Syria and with Iran. U.S. carries out continued strikes in Syria and Iran blamed. We urge against any escalation, the Secretary of Defense said in a statement. The United States has continued to launch a number of airstrike targets against targets in Syria in which the Department of Defense claims are backed by Iran. Since the war in Gaza broke out several weeks ago, the Pentagon claimed that one of their bases in Syria was attacked by a drone strike, which has then led to the U.S. to return fire, blaming Iran for backing these coalition strikes. The U.S. has threatened Iran and others to not force any escalation of this conflict as the U.S. continues to ramp up their military activity in the Middle East once again. And on November 8th, the Department of Defense explained a blog post, quote, U.S. military forces conducted a self-defense strike on a facility in eastern Syria used by Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and affiliated groups. The strike was conducted by 2 F-15 aircraft against weapons storage depot. And it was a precision self-defense strike, and it goes on to explain further on that. So what is your thought, Sandy, as you're, some of the people that you follow, what are they saying about? I
haven't heard about this specific event, but this is very concerning to me because we're talking about Iran.
Yeah.
And we know that they probably have a lot of things we have not even seen yet. And for us to be going head to head with them or near head to head is concerning. It's not like, oh, this is just another Tuesday. This is truly an escalation, just like this article says. And I think it's something that we as Americans should be very concerned about. I would love to know what some of our military officials are saying secretly just about this one thing.
Yeah, and I want to go back to this article real quick and quote the New York Times here, which I don't actually like to do, but, here it is. The New York Times also noted that the U.S. continues to escalate the situation while claiming they're not trying to provoke more of it. The airstrikes appear to mark an escalation by the Biden administration, which has previously conducted 2 sets of airstrikes. So there's the narrative already. It's being turned that, you just don't know what to believe. No. Let's just be honest with you. You don't know what to believe. I'm obviously pro United States of America, but I don't trust my own country either.
I know.
So I don't know what's going on. I'm just reporting the news.
Yep.
I mean, it's bottom line is bad. Bottom line is bad.
And this was this Wine Press? This is not even mainstream.
Yeah, this is Wine Press.
This is more of alternative news site. Hopefully, we put more trust and faith in them than we do mainstream news, but it's still hard to know what the absolute truth is.
Yeah, and then you factor in, we talk a lot about here. We believe that some people disagree with us that we even have on this show is that we interview, but we believe here that we are in the beginning stages of World War III. And I understand if you're a student of Scripture, World War III looks a little bit different to you, and there's different names for different wars of World War III.
It's frustrating because people that we directly talk to and people that I listen to faithfully, I'll just say, one of our favorites that we have, Stan Deo, he says that we are not.
Yeah. Yeah, and I understand
but Steve
why.
Quayle, a lot of people listen to Steve Quayle, says we are, and we have been for a little while, World War III.
But I believe it's really a difference of believing where we are in prophecy, because there is a World War III prophesied in Scripture, and it has to meet certain criteria. So I understand where Stan's coming from. I understand where other people are coming from. And
do you think they're parsing it down a fine line, or
sure,
they think
they're going along Bible lines. They're going along Bible prophecy lines. But here's the reality. What I'm saying is, I think too, when we think about World War, we think about World War II, World War I, where there's just massive amounts of countries. I'm not saying that we're there. We're definitely not there. But we are in the beginning stages of being there, because this next article, Sandy, will show us exactly why this is doing. Because just a few months ago, nobody was talking about massive war happening in the Middle East. We were talking about Russia.
Oh, yes.
We were talking about Ukraine, and we were talking about China.
Exactly.
So look at this. Don't forget about China. Okay.
I know.
Don't forget about China.
Don't go to sleep on China.
This is the Washington Post. In the Washington Post, what is today? The 13th? Yeah. So
yes,
this is today.
13th.
So how Chinese aggression is increasing the risk of war in the Taiwan Strait. And we told you about this several months ago. Now watch this. China's increasingly aggressive activities around Taiwan and its refusal to speak to the U.S. military through channels designed to avoid conflict is fueling fears that the United States could be drawn into a third major war in the world. reestablishing those communication channels will be high on the agenda of when President Biden talks with Chinese leader Xi Jinping this week. Yeah. Okay, I'm not even going to comment. Their first meeting in a year. But China is being deliberately unpredictable and incommunicatable. Analysts said to keep the United States military off guard in the Pacific and to warn against American attempts to help defend Taiwan. It has reached a very, very high level of tension, the director of Asia Engagement has said. Without a breakthrough, will continue. It could essentially happen. War could essentially happen at any time. So we're not going to read the whole article here, but let's go back to the headline while we're talking about it. Let me scroll down. Sandy, you comment, and I'm going to get down to this map here.
Yeah, go down to the map. So basically, they are tiptoeing ever further. They're even going across the line through the Taiwan Strait. They've been, and they need to be staying on their side of the line. Yeah. But they've been going across.
Yeah, look at this. This gives us a timeline here as China escalates warplane incursions and sends drones to encircle Taiwan. So in August to November of 22, there's the line, the median line, and you can see down at the bottom left-hand side going across and just barely going across, turning around.
Right.
Then you see December to March 23, and you see them going further and then circling behind Taiwan. Then in April and July of 23, you see them circling all the way around the island and coming back to China.
I think they've done that either 2 or 5 times now and circled the entire island.
The entire island. And then August to September of 23, the most warplane incursions this was one single day, September 17th. And these are not just air flights, but these are also ships. Chinese military provocations are becoming existential. I can't say that.
Existential.
Thank you for Taipei. That's why I got you here, babe. It's one of the reasons I got you here.
Well, then we're in trouble.
You're good. You're
Taipei.
Good. You're good. So let's just while we're just finishing up this talk here, this is where we're at, and let's go back to we keep referring back to July.
In my mind, I keep confusing this story with the communication story. There's another story we're going to do about communications, I believe, but either way. The main focus of this story is that they keep getting escalating. They keep moving further. They're crossing they're crossing the line. They're not staying on their side.
And let's not forget that just about a month ago, they just absolutely on their own decided they owned more of the China Sea. And they just redrew the whole entire map of international waters.
Right.
And let's go back to this map. And I'm going to tell you what they did. So you see this map here, and you see Taiwan. You see the banks of China and Taiwan. Well, you see the circling all the way around it.
Yes.
They followed what they now believe to be the international line for China.
You need to come back to this side. They can't see your cursor.
Well, I know they can't see my cursor, but I'm just saying, look at Taiwan, the map on the left-hand side, and you'll see the red circle all the way around it. Well, the circle on the back side of Taiwan is where they now moved the Taiwan Strait line to. They now claim Taiwan to be inside the boundary of the Chinese waters.
Scroll down to the very bottom of this article. I think it's going to talk about going into the Pacific and provoking United States. I get these articles confused.
The September drills were the largest in the waters to Taiwan's east for a decade, with 17 warships, including Shandong aircraft carrier, holding a large-scale exercise stretching from the Philippine Sea to near the American territory of Guam.
So they're on the other side of the island, into the Pacific, getting closer to...
Look how far they've gone past Taiwan.
Where we're staged, provoking us
all
now.
The way, we have stations on Guam. Right. I mean, they're going all the way to Guam. They are antagonizing us.
Yes. There you go.
For Taipei, the frequency of Chinese drills over the last year confirms Beijing's disregard for long-standing norms of standard military behavior in the region. Without those tactic agreements, it's easier for accidents to happen and harder contain fallout if they do. Chinese warships in the western Pacific Ocean, and you can see the escalation there where Taiwan is and where they're going out into the Mayoka Strait, the Bashi Channel.
Basically, they're east of Taiwan.
Yeah, way east of Taiwan. And you know, what they did is when they redrew the map and they put Taiwan inside their international boundary of international waters, they then made it to where, in their mind, even though the world doesn't accept that map, they've said our law says that if you come to Taiwan, you have invaded our country because we own Taiwan. Well, Taiwan's back there going, hold up. We're our own country. We're a democracy. Thank you for that super sticker, Jimmy.
Yes,
appreciate
thanks.
that big time.
Jimmy James.
But that's where we're at, y'all. And we wanted to show you that because we wanted to remind you, don't get fully distracted by what's just going on in the Middle East. Let's not forget about what's happening in China.
Exactly.
That's crazy. But let's not also forget that they're in the Middle East. China just brought ships as well. Yes. They just brought Navy vessels alongside our most powerful Navy vessels.
And is it just me, or has someone put the lid on that jar? Because I don't remember really hearing any talk about that.
Yeah. When's the last time anybody?
For the last 2 weeks.
We have the largest carrier in the world.
No, not us, just them specifically. I haven't seen any articles, talking about China being there.
China's there. France has moved things there.
Did Italy?
Maybe. I mean, there's a bunch of military outside that little tiny dot called Israel.
Yes.
Y'all, something's about to go down.
It's crazy. It's like the world is converging on that very small area.
It really, I think I read about that somewhere, that the world was going to converge on that little tiny area. Okay. But let's also not forget there's a war going on in Ukraine that supposedly we're still sending billions of dollars.
Wow.
So look at this. Russia ramps up attacks on key cities in eastern Ukraine. Russian forces have ramped up attacks in eastern Ukraine in an attempt to gain control, to gain ground near two key frontline cities, Ukrainian military officials said. On Sunday, Moscow troops have began a push to regain territory, the eastern mining city that was the site of the war's bloodiest battle before the falling into Russians' hands in May, the head of Ukraine's ground focus wrote on the Telegram messaging app. And it goes on down here and shows you some Russia resumes missile strikes on Kiev among countrywide bombardment. And then the article just basically details that Russia has decided to escalate, and basically, from what we're being told, in this thing. And do
you think they're trying to wrap it all up right now?
I think they are. I think they're trying to. There's just who knows, but
I don't think that they have had their big push yet.
I don't either.
Military. So it's kind of frustrating.
I need to say something about that woman that messaged me.
Okay.
So look, I'm gonna say something. I'm verifying this information. So I'm saying this is purely speculation.
Yes.
Because I don't know this individual.
Exactly.
But I had a person reach out to me that has a blog that is, and she may be watching it now, this show. She has a blog where she travels. And she had watched one of our things about my little short that I made that said, when's the last time you saw a video of an embedded reporter in the Ukrainian war? I mean, we see every bomb that explodes in Gaza or Israel live. Somebody's filming. We see that everything that's happening. But when's the last time you saw a bomb explode in Ukraine? When's the last time you saw any video at all coming out? When's the last time you heard a death toll? When's the last time you heard anything coming out of Ukraine? So she saw that, and like I said, I'm still verifying this. She said, I want to tell you, I saw that, and the airports were closed, so I was taking a vacation, not in Ukraine, but in neighboring countries, and said I decided because I had family or friends or something that was in Ukraine that I was going to get a car and drive into Ukraine. They told me it was safe. So there again, I don't know if these pictures are accurate. If they are, it's shocking, Sandy.
It is shocking.
It is shocking.
I've not seen them, but what you told me, I'm like, wait a minute, you need to verify this.
I need to verify this. It's almost unbelievable.
It's an even greater indictment on this war, supposed war.
Yeah.
I mean,
if these pictures are accurate, let me tell you what this person sent me. Like I said, there again, grain of salt. But I checked out her blog. She is a travel person. She posts travel, all this kind of stuff. And she sent me about 25 videos of Kiev, what's the other big city in Ukraine? I can't think of the name. The big one, Kiev and Lviv or something. But so
there's another one too.
She sent me pictures and videos, and it's like nothing has happened. It's like every building is intact. People are driving down the road. They're going about their business.
Maybe that's why they wanted all the money to continue their businesses.
I mean,
they weren't affected.
I
don't know. It's just
if I can verify this and I'm able to show you these pictures, you're going to be shocked and stunned. Now, there again, I'm not saying, but I weigh that with people that we trust, people that have connections in intelligence are telling us that it is not what we seem, what it seems, what we're being told. It is not what we are being told, that there is a lot of Hollywood production going on in Ukraine.
If this is true, what you're saying, it just piles on because we already had so many questions and concerns and suspicions.
Yeah.
So I will be very anxious to find out more and get some confirmations.
But I asked the question again, when is the last time that you, watching this, have seen an actual live reporter on anything live from Ukraine, embedded with the military of Ukraine, covering the war, showing warfare happening and bombs blowing up and destroyed buildings? When is the last time you saw anything from Ukraine? But yet, do you realize that even today, the new Speaker of the House is being pushed to not shut down the House, and he passed, they got a bill, went forward. The president's going to veto it. The Senate says don't want it. Why? Because he said, we need to balance the budget here. We'll deal with Ukraine and Israel funding later. So he didn't put any funding in it, and they said, we will not agree to any budget that does not have money for Ukraine.
I'm sure they're very hot about that. And that's coming up this weekend, right?
Yes.
That's a deadline that's like the 18th or something.
And it all comes back to about Ukraine. I mean, look, I'm against Russia too, y'all, but look at our country. Look at the people, how we're hurting here. People are losing their homes.
Yes.
People are losing their jobs. The inflation is going through the roof, y'all, and we have sent over $100 billion. And
there's no end in sight.
And no end in sight to Ukraine.
And we're talking about a government shutdown where employees will not be paid.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And you're talking about everything from...
But yet their 401ks are being paid.
Yes. They're not at risk.
They're not at risk.
So it's...
Yeah. Did you see the video where he's like, he got mad? This was like last week. He got mad. He's like, y'all cannot stop. You cannot stop sending us money. And he goes, you got to believe in us. And then he says this. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. He said, but if you ain't got the money, loan us the money on the credit and we'll pay you back.
Sure you will.
What? I was like, dude, we ain't running your credit. We ain't doing no credit check on you.
This guy is unbelievable. I mean,
he's an actor.
Well, that's
comedian.
Exactly what if
that's all
we're not going to show it here, but if you ever saw the clip we watched of him doing his vulgar stand-up,
it's nasty.
It's gross.
It's nasty. I mean, it's borderline soft porn.
He's the sovereign leader of this country.
Yeah, with
his hand out, wanting money all the time. It's just I wish the American people would just get mad and rise up and just, I don't know.
Peacefully.
Peacefully, of course.
We're not calling for anything.
Just, give some pushback.
Did you hear that, YouTube? Peacefully. Rise up, vote, rise up.
Yeah. Peaceful demonstration.
Peaceful demonstration.
Just push back against this.
Exactly. Well, everything's shaking, Sandy.
Oh, a whole lot of shaking.
Going on. But hey, we laugh about it, but just trying to keep from crying. But the reality is this, man, it just seems like one thing after the other.
It is harsh reality.
This is harsh reality. Volcanic eruption in Iceland.
Yep.
This is big time, y'all. This is big time. could last for weeks. Experts warn as 2,800 earthquake tremors are detected in 24 hours amid fears imminent explosion could obliterate this town. A volcano in Iceland could spew lava for weeks, an expert has warned, amid growing fears that an eruption could be imminent. We really are concerned about the houses and the infrastructure in the area. The head of Iceland's Civil Protection and Emergency Management. I'm just going to show some of these pictures here.
Oh, yeah.
This is just a little nice little country town, postcard
4,000 residents. Thank God it's not 20,000.
Yes.
I'm sure that they live in a lot of fear, don't want to have to leave their homes, certainly don't want to lose their homes. But look at this.
Unbelievable. And this, actually, this is not on here, but I saw a video of this shot when it broke loose. And steam was just pouring out of that crack. It was like it was on fire right underneath it.
So it goes on to say most of the roads are closed down, except I guess the one to the airport is not really that badly affected. But that's not helping these folks trying to move around in their community.
Yeah.
And it goes on to say they believe the magma. Okay.
Talk to me.
Let's see. The magma they think is not that far underground. And look, do you remember 10 years ago? Go back up to about 2-3 paragraphs. It produced a huge, 10 years ago, remember when the airlines were shut down?
Yes, because of the volcano.
Global travel, it said 50,000 flights were canceled.
Yep, I remember that.
Because I think that was Reykjavik, which is another volcano in Iceland.
Yeah.
But it literally, you could not fly in that area because of all the ash and everything. It was a big hazard.
I mean, that's just that's like movie stuff. I mean, You're just walking outside and all of a sudden.
Could you imagine living there and feeling that?
Yeah, I mean, every movie you ever watched about a volcano or earthquake, it's always the road just starts shifting and it separates. These people really was out there on the road and they saw that and it separated. In the video that I saw, massive amounts of steam was just coming up there.
That's one thing. What about the foundation of your home?
Yeah, yeah. And this, let me show you this. This was it was just a little short video, but this couple here was making a little video. I don't know. Oh, that ain't it. Let's see if this is it. Where's that video now?
Down.
Okay.
Down.
So she was I don't know what she was doing. She was like she trying to fix his hair or something.
She doesn't live there. I think she was visiting. One of the two were visiting the other.
I don't know. I think it's already gone.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah. So they're on their little TikTok or whatever, and all of a sudden the whole house starts shaking, and it's just, I mean, that's just crazy. It's just crazy, y'all. What's going on? But it's not just that. There's volcanoes happening all around the world, and I wanted to pull this article up right here that just sort of calls out a bunch of these. Why is volcanic activity starting to go crazy all over the planet? All of a sudden, the giant rock that we all live on is starting to go a bit nuts. Unusual volcanic activity is happening all over the globe, but the experts, in quotations, are assuring us there's nothing to be concerned about. And look at this right here. A newborn island has recently emerged from the Pacific Ocean from an underwater volcano. And I think if I can get it to work, I got a little video here of that.
Is that the Mount Fuji?
Off the coast of Japan. I mean, it's just unreal, y'all. It's just unreal. Look at that. Goodness. It's coming from under the ocean.
Yeah. Creating new landmass.
Creating a new island in the middle of the ocean. The eruption of Water Island off the Pacific Islands. Wow. So
Japan is, they need to be concerned, don't they?
Japan better get right with God.
Ooh.
I mean, Japan got some stuff going on, y'all. I mean, them folks know how to do some earthquakes now. They know how to handle some earthquakes because they get them all the time. Now, us down here in the South in Alabama, if we was to get like a 3.5 or 4.5, whatever we could feel, we'd go nuts. It'd be like the apocalypse. We don't know nothing about no earthquake.
People be losing their minds.
Be losing their minds. That's like when we get a quarter inch of snow. It's like snow-copalypse, apocalypse.
Yeah,
everything shuts down. I mean, we can't drive, y'all. Some of y'all out there in California, y'all just sort of snickering a little bit because y'all deal with earthquakes all the time. But earthquakes are very serious. We're just sort of like look. If you're new to our show, let me just go ahead and just establish something. We laugh a little bit. We try to have fun on here. But everything is serious to us, okay? This is very serious.
We may have a little trouble with the English language sometimes.
We struggle, especially me. She's my correction.
Work
most
with
of the time.
it. Just work with it.
We are down here in Alabama, but we laugh to keep from crying because we have to cover so much tough stuff.
So many things going on. And that doesn't even say anything about Italy and their concerns.
Yeah.
So you're talking about Iceland, Japan, Italy, all on basically high alert.
Yeah.
People have already left or they're being suggested to leave. But it's one thing. Some of these people are very poor.
Yes.
You can't just pick up and even go to the next city. So
No.
you have to feel for someone who's having to stay where they are, but they're in fear.
Absolutely.
So my heart does go out to all these people.
Yeah. I want to say thank you to all of our partners that partner with us here on YouTube by clicking that join button, $5 a month. And especially we want to say thank you to all the ones that go onto our website and became a partner on our website because that's our monthly partners that help us with our television ministry.
Yes, we are
so
very
thank you. The crowd's going wild for you. So let me just say this. I was talking about this how we freak out over a quarter-inch to a half-inch of snow down here. Can you imagine this? I mean, Alaska is used to snow, and Alaska this week has issued a snow emergency.
This was ridiculous, though.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, what is happening to the weather?
Exactly.
And I agree with you, Anthony. I was literally thinking that we can't hardly drive in the rain around here.
That's the truth. So snow emergency after 2 days of snowfall as 4 die in a blizzard. The U.S. city has declared a snow emergency following record-breaking snowfall. The unusual weather event resulted in 4 fatalities. Just 48 hours, over 2 feet of snow fell in Alaska's largest city, breaking 2 daily records. Yep. The city's daily snowfall record was smashed on Wednesday when 9 inches of snow fell in 24 hours. The previous record for November 8th was 7.3 inches in 1982.
You want to talk about smashing a record? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy.
But it broke my heart when I went on way down in that article and read about, I think they said like 29 people had died. I can't remember over what amount of time.
You talking about the homeless people?
The homeless people.
Yeah, I'm looking at this right. It was more than that. It's 49.
49.
It says, sadly, the total number of homeless people who have died while sleeping in this area this year has now reached 49, with 4 deaths from the recent snowfall. Wow.
Because they didn't want to leave their tents or their cars or whatever. Surely they have shelters the way we do in Birmingham and other places, but that just broke my heart. I mean, 49 people?
That's
what?
horrible. That's horrible. Speaking of the homeless, there's an epidemic of homelessness in our country, and that's why we get upset a little bit about sending all this money to Ukraine and all these different wars when we have so many people that have lost their homes. Now, I understand for anybody who comments, I understand a lot of people, have made just stupid decisions, and some people, quite frankly, because we minister to the homeless here in Birmingham, they choose to be homeless. They've had the opportunities to be in shelters and even have homes, but they, for whatever reason, prefer to live in the streets. So I know that there's a small percentage of that, but most people are there because they made some bad decisions. They're on drugs. They don't know how to have nobody to help them get free. But the bottom line is this: they're homeless. That's why they're called the homeless. And in one of the biggest cities, if not the number one city of homeless people in America, is San Francisco. And we've done stories where the people's walking down the streets, and I don't know what that drug's called. Remember that drug that makes them bow over and makes them look like zombies? Yeah. I don't remember what it's called, but
it's not crank.
Yeah, I don't think it is. I think it might be. But so let me tell you what they did. Look at this. Look, this is your future. By any chance, if you're a Democrat, by any chance, if you got Democrat people in your family, this is probably the governor of this state is probably going to be your Democratic candidate, because I don't think it's going to be Biden, Gavin Newsom. And look what they did. Democratic-run San Francisco erects walls for security during Xi's visit. So they got every homeless person off the street and put a barrier between anyone on the street and the road in San Francisco. San Francisco's homeless population was entirely cleared out for Xi Jinping, the communist dictator from the country that we are about to go to war with. The governor can easily fix our cities overnight. It just doesn't want to. U.S. taxpayers' money is being used to protect the safety of a communist dictator.
They not only removed homeless, they were cleaning streets, like pressure washing,
Right.
graffiti, possibly doing painting to clean the place up. Now they've moved people out and they put these security barricade things up.
For a communist dictator. But yet, what about the people that live in San Francisco? What about the citizens?
Sure.
House
Of
Speaker
San
Mike
Francisco.
Johnson unveiled a
that
two-step
matter?
laddered proposal
They're
to keep the
probably
government.
furious because it's so expensive to live there, and they have to put up with people using their bathroom in the streets, walking around trying to break into their vehicles. It's unbelievable.
Exactly.
Can't believe this can happen to our country.
Yeah, I mean, you think about San Francisco, it's supposed to be, in all of our lifetime, we've never been there, but it's just always been talking about how beautiful it was. The Golden Gate Bridge, the famous, hills.
When you love to see it, but a little bit concerned about going out there now.
Exactly. I mean, I always talk about San Francisco. You think about the show, The Streets of San Francisco,
yes.
and you got them hills. They always jumping them cars down. It looks
Trolleys.
so cool, and the trolleys.
Yep.
But that ain't what you think about when you think about San Francisco.
Not
now.
anymore.
Yeah. Okay. And there's other things with San Francisco, is all I'm going to say.
Right.
We'll move it on.
What is that area called? Haight-Ashbury?
Yes.
Those two streets that were so famous.
Yeah. A lot of what we're dealing with now began there.
That's what they told us.
So we were talking about that shutdown, but watch this. How convenient. Thanksgiving shutdown sets up nightmare scenario for travelers. If this happens, if it shuts down, and the Democrats are saying they will not approve what the new speaker has put forward without Ukrainian and Israeli funding, the government is days away from a November 18th shutdown, which could force Transportation Security Administration employees and federal air traffic controllers to work without pay, just as the busy Thanksgiving travel season is beginning. Around 4.7 million people are expected to fly over the 5-day period surrounding Thanksgiving, the highest projection in nearly 2 decades, according to a forecast released Monday by AAA. Now, what they're saying in this article is, if this is true, if that many people are going to be flying, then and the shutdown happens, everybody in the airport is going to be working for free until they get this deal dealt with. But the last time that happened was during the WAH, and they were supposed to work without pay. And you know what they did? They called in sick.
Exactly.
And so people are afraid that we're going to have a mess on our hands come Thanksgiving travel season because of this.
That's just, oh my goodness. Oh, that's making my head hurt. I've spent the night in the airport.
Yes.
It was not pleasant.
That night. Oh, my goodness, y'all. We were like, what was that Tom Hanks movie where he lived in the airport?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Terminal.
Terminal.
We were terminal for one night, y'all.
Yeah.
I mean, we it's the only time it's ever happened. We were sleeping on the floor in the corner of the airport all by ourselves on spooky, man. Turn out the lights on us. We had to sleep there. It was wild, y'all.
Yeah. It could have been worse. It could have been like hundreds of people everywhere. That wasn't our situation, but we did have to sleep there, and it was not comfortable.
It was not comfortable. Ugh. So let's move on real quick to the economy, and then we'll get to World Economic Forum tonight. World's biggest bank, it's a Chinese bank, ICBC, had to actually trade this week via USB stick. And Fifi, if you're watching, that's called a jump drive, a flash drive. That's an inside church joke. Yeah. Do y'all know people my age and older, and maybe a little bit younger than me? Do y'all know this younger generation don't even know what a flash drive is? I told our young college age kids and high school students that's doing a drama at our church, and their music messed up on Spotify, and they didn't know what to do. They're like, "Well, it's all that's where you get music. It's from Spotify or Pandora and all this Apple Music." I'm like, Y'all ever heard of a jump drive? Come back to church next time with your music on jump drive. And they all looked at me and literally said, what's a jump drive, Pastor? What? You don't know what a jump drive is? The world's biggest bank had to trade via USB stick after hack. On Thursday, trades handled by the world's largest bank. Can you imagine this in this digital age? It's insane.
Unbelievable.
The world's largest bank in the globe's biggest market had to traverse Manhattan on a USB stick. Industrial and Commercial Bank of China U.S. unit had been hit by a cyber attack, rendering it unable to clear swaths of U.S. Treasury trades after entities responsible for settling the transaction swiftly disconnected from the stricken systems. That forced ICBC to send the required settlement details to those parties by a messenger carrying a thumb drive as the state-owned lender raced the limit. This is back to the Pony Express. Wow. They had to literally do like in the Bible. When they had to get word that the war was over, they had to send a messenger. Somebody had to grab a flash drive and run across Manhattan, get on a bicycle, get on a moped, and run in there. Stick us in. I mean, the world's largest bank in Manhattan had to do this.
What is happening? We are just melting down in all sectors, right?
But you know what that's telling us? What it should tell us is when they want to flip a switch off of us,
yikes,
because we didn't line up with their DEI score or all these different woke things and all that, and they just flip our money off. We keep telling you. That's what CBDC is all about. It's programmable, and I'm gonna get back to that in just a minute. It's programmable. And if something is programmable, it can be hacked. If something is programmable, it can be turned off. And I'm telling you, there are going to be entire industries. There's going to be churches. There's going to be ministries. There's going to be political parties that don't line up, that their funding is going to be turned off like a light switch.
There you go. Wow.
And this is just further evidence of what our world will look like without digital.
Yeah.
And that's why they want everything digital, right?
Yep, and it's just ever so easy for them. Control.
Yep. Speaking of that, let's go straight to this because this happened this week. We've been telling you this was coming. This happened this week.
Yes.
The European Union released their all-in-one digital ID wallet tied to CBDCs, the precursor to social credit scores.
That ought to shake some people up right
You better
there.
believe it. This is that creepy lady from the EU commissioner. I can't think of her name right now. She's down in the article. Mm-hmm. But this is her, quote, now that we have, this is what she said at the end of the conference when they all voted unanimously, now that we have a digital identity wallet, we have to put something in it. What? I mean, that's just saying the quiet thing out loud. While the world is gripped with the daily headlines concerning the Israel-Hamas war, the European Union has made a landmark move that brings the implementation of an all-in-one digital identity very close to launch. November 8th, the EU Parliament formally reached an agreement on implementing new framework for a European digital identity. Look how proud they are of themselves.
Oh, yes.
We did it, they said. We did it. #deal. With the European Identity Wallet, all EU citizens will be able to have a secured identity for their lifetime. The wallet has the highest level of both security and privacy.
Yeah. You need to scroll down and talk about everything that they want to roll into this wallet because it's everything.
It's everything. Under the new law, member states will offer citizens and businesses digital wallets that will be able to link their national digital identities with proof of other personal attributes, i.e. driver's license, diplomas, banking. So you can walk across the platform now. Instead of being given a diploma, you just touch somebody's iPhone. Bloop, bloop. There's your diploma. Bank account. Citizens will be able to prove their identity and share electronic documents with their digital wallets with a click of a button on their mobile phone. Wow. I mean, that's just unreal. But I want to scroll down here and show you this right here. Their health care. It says that their digital ID will be used for multiple instances, such as healthcare, financial services, education, and transport. But then it's talking about not just making payments, but I want to show you this right here. Oh, there he is right there.
Oh, Ursula, that's who you're talking about.
Ursula, and what's his name from Canada?
Trousseau.
What?
Trousseau.
Trudeau. The future is digital. I passed 2 messages to the GTO. We should establish a framework for safe, responsible AI with a similar body for the climate and digital public infrastructures, an accelerator of growth. They must be trusted. Look at them. They're so proud of themselves. But I want to show you this guy right here, because I had seen this video earlier this week. He is an opponent of it, and he came out of it. Rob Roos, he is an opponent of it. He says, breaking, very bad news. European Parliament and member states just reached an agreement on introducing the digital identity. Directly afterwards, Commissioner Breton said, now that we have a digital wallet, we have to put something in. So let's listen to a little bit of what he has to say here.
I just left the room where we had the negotiations about the digital identity, and I have bad news. The member states and the European Parliament came to an agreement. It means that probably not far from now, the digital identity will be effect in the European Union. Right after this agreement, Commissioner Breton said, now we have the digital identity wallet, we have to put something in it. And what he meant was the digital euro, also known as the central bank digital currency. And this is a very bad development. They always promise us not to make this connection. And even a lot of experts, privacy experts and security experts, warned also last week this is a very bad idea for our privacy and our freedom.
So I would agree with him. I mean, it's just, this is not going to end well. I'm telling you, because I say it again, it's a mantra here that we say, all digital, all CBDC means is programmable. That's all it means.
It's just going to implement more and more control, more and more limiting you. It may start out slow, but it's going to speed up and speed up. It's just going to be all encompassing.
Yes. All right, I'm going to give my wife a break here for just a minute, and I'm going to talk to you for just a second. If you need to, thank you. I know she's need a little break here. She'll be back in just a second. But I want to tell you that right now, in the midst of all of this, our government is trying to pass something called the Federal Kill Switch Law. The Federal Kill Switch Law. And the Federal Kill Switch Law is mandating, and I'm going to show you that in just a moment. When she is able to come back in here, we'll go to that article. But it tells us that the federal kill switch signals our surrender to tech overloads and overlords. And it says, the last public action performed by John Adams came on June 30th, 1826, just a few days before the founder's death. Asked by George Whitney, the 4th of July toast, the former president offered, independence forever, no more, no less. You can't get more American than that. Yet independence is the very thing being choked out of us at an ever-quickening gait. And Congress just gave that horse another sharp kick in the ribs. All right, we're going to go to that article, and we're going to bring Sandy back in. Y'all, as I say, y'all pray for her. She's battling sinuses. She's battling a lot of stuff, but she's a trooper tonight, y'all. Y'all show her some love. Y'all show her some love. She's trying hard, y'all, for y'all, because she wants to be here with her big picture family. Yes. All right. So this article says this kill switch law, Sandy, is designed starting off in cars. And it says the House of Representatives means the failure to spike a federal kill switch mandate means the outside of a political miracle. All new vehicles from 2026 onward will be required to incorporate an advanced, that's what they're calling it, an advanced drunk and impaired driving prevention technology.
Right.
It's always for the greater good, right?
Oh, yes.
It will passively monitor the performance of a driver and automatically disable the vehicle if impairment is detected. In other words, you will no longer have control of your car, and some outside entity, human or a program, could at any time make it inoperable. Now, what they're talking about is they're going to sell it that this is going to cut down majorly on drunk driving. because AI is going to be able to determine that you're driving drunk and that you're swerving out of your lane or you're falling asleep, and it's going to disable your car.
Yep.
And let me just tell you, if there was a way for that to be the only thing that it did,
exactly,
that would be amazing.
Therein lies your problem. And thanks, guys, for all your love. You're so sweet.
Yes.
Thank you for all the feel better wishes and the hearts.
Yes.
But right, if it stopped there, maybe even as bad, as good as an idea it is to stop drunk driving, like it never stops there.
Right.
It never stops there. Always looking for a way to get encroach even further, to get even more.
Yes.
It's that C word we talk about all the time, control.
Yeah, well, let's go right back there. The elephant in the corner is, what assurance do we have that, quote, impairment just means drunkenness,
There you go.
drug use, or the usual things? What assurance do we have that this narrow definition will never be widened? How about widen to, where do you stand on the climate? Where do you stand on reproductive rights? Where do you stand on marriage rights and love rights, if you know what I mean? Because if you identify that car with somebody making a video that don't align with the wokeness of this world, flip the switch. All of a sudden,
Exactly.
you ain't got no car.
Wow.
That's what this is about.
Wow. I love what you just did right there. That was great.
That right there?
Was great.
That one there?
No, how you talked about your, where you stood on religion and sexuality and all of that.
Yeah.
That is great.
Absolutely.
If guys out there were not seeing the bigger picture, you did a great job explaining why we need to be concerned about that.
Thank you. I'm going to make you a chicken sandwich tonight for that. Chicken salad sandwich. Chicken salad sandwich.
Wow,
whatever you want. You want peanut butter and jelly?
I'm going to pass. Thanks.
Okay.
I guess that's the thought that counts.
It is the thought that counts. But look, this, we're talking about control. What look at this. Look at this. This is breaking today. Bulk ammo ban just announced. Better top off while you can. So U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren, we all know her, and Richard Blumenthal have introduced a Senate bill S3223. This is an excerpt from it. It will require restriction on bulk ammunition sales. In general, it shall be unlawful for any person licensed under this chapter to transfer to another person not so licensed during any 5-year periods. In other words, you got to be licensed to have ammo, and you can't just give ammo to a friend if they don't have a license to receive ammo. And you can't have more than 100 rounds of 50 caliber ammunition or more than 1,000 rounds of any other caliber of ammunition. I mean, it goes on to all kinds of stipulations, including background checks on ammunition buyers. So, obviously you got background checks now before you can buy a gun, but now you can have background checks before you can buy shells for your shotgun or bullets for your gun and ammunition for your gun. And this is all a part of an end around that Second Amendment. If they can't do away with the Second Amendment, and it's just like the whole programmable thing. Everything else we're talking about on this show is about control, and that's why we're going to go to in just a minute a breakdown of the World Economic Forum, because that's what they want to do, is control every aspect of our lives.
Yeah, this is still a legal right.
Yes.
To have a gun and certainly have ammunition for it. Oh my goodness, it's just that squeezing and tightening.
Yes.
Ugh.
Well, it goes back to, that little funny meme that we talked about a few weeks ago. The First Amendment was the freedom of speech and the freedom of religion. Then the second thing they ever wrote was a right to bear arms. He's like, my God, they wrote so much, but the second thing they ever wrote was this, and they only wrote it second to make sure that you was able to keep the first.
They were smart.
Yeah, they were.
All
right, I wished I had a.
So smart.
Let me see. I don't have a wah. I don't think. Let me see. Do I have that?
What'd you do with your wah?
Do I have a wah? Let's see.
We always had a wah.
That ain't the one I want.
Well, then what are you talking about?
I'm looking for the one that goes wah. It's not here. That's not it.
Okay.
Sorry. I gotta get some new sound effects. I wanted to get one that was gloomy for Klaus Schwab.
Okay.
Klaus Schwab. Hey, what about this? I forgot I can do this. Watch.
Okay.
Klaus Schwab. Wait a minute. How do I get it off? How do I turn it off?
Do I need to come over there?
Okay, there we go.
Can you get it off?
Oh, that was awesome. So Klaus Schwab, you shall ease the bugs, man himself. Let's break this down, dude. This dude right here, I don't know what to say about this dude. I know every human being is created in the image of God, but there's been some pretty bad dudes on this earth and dudettes on this earth. This dude right here, he's got some devils. Okay,
Yes.
So Klaus Schwab, we're gonna do a little deep dive here into the World Economic Forum, and we're gonna hit some things. We're gonna discuss them. But I'm going to do another show. I want y'all to know I'm going to do another show. 2 shows I want y'all to be looking for that's going to come in the next week or two. And it may take me but it'll be sometime this month. I'm going to do a breakdown of the World Economic Forum further than tonight. Then I'm also going to do a show because I saw several, just glancing over at the live chat, I saw several people still commenting on Maui and on Hawaii. Don't forget Hawaii. Don't forget Hawaii. Right. We're not going to forget Maui here. We're not going to forget Hawaii. And I'm so thankful for the boots on the ground, Eric West, with the things that he's doing there on this channel. I'm going to do a reaction video to a video that he just did recently that Sandy and I have watched multiple times.
I'm sure several people have seen it as well.
Yeah, it is mind-boggling. It is just, it causes so many questions to question everything.
Yes.
And I've never seen anything like it in my life. So so those are 2 videos I want you to be looking for: a World Economic Forum video, and a Maui video. But let's look into this. This is, by the way, I want to give credit here. This is Breitbart. Breitbart has done an expose and also a video of the breakdown. They've been, I forgot how many months it's been. They've been investigating the World Economic Forum to make sure their readers understand what's really going on. So this article is called "Exposed: Klaus Schwab and WEF's Secret Blueprint to Control Every Aspect of your life." So let's look at this. So Klaus Schwab started the World Economic Forum with $6,000 in seed money in 1971 and transformed the World Economic Forum from a humble gathering of academics into the most exclusive club in the world. The World Economic Forum now rakes in $390 million annually.
I laugh at that.
Yeah, I laughed at that too. I laughed at when I saw it. But that's just what's being reported, okay?
Exactly.
That's all that's being reported. But the name of their article, I love this, is the Controligarchs. The Controligarchs. I said it. The Controligarchs instead of the oligarchs. Okay, so the market capitalization of WEF's top members, behemoths like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Google, Comcast, Pfizer, tops $10 trillion. That's just the top level.
Well, look at these. How many of our lives do each one of those
there's these right here? Yeah.
touch? Not the people.
Yeah.
I mean, the people, but,
the entities, yeah.
The entities, the corporations that you just named off.
Think about it. Let's think about your day today. How many times in your day today was you involved with something, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Instagram, Google, your cable system, or prescription drugs in your life? That's your whole life.
It can easily top 10 trillion, and they may be lying about that. It may be a lot more than that.
Yeah, it goes on to say, and then if you double that, if you include the $10 trillion asset manager BlackRock, whose founder and CEO Larry Fink is a WEF board member, so with more than $20 trillion, greater than the GDP of every nation in the world except that of the United States, my God, it is easy to grasp why that WEF is able to exert extraordinary influence. Let's scroll down. Of course, here he is. And when I say these terms, I get flagged. I'm going to be flagged. I wouldn't be surprised if when you go back and watch this, there's going to be a little blue box around the bottom down there that's going to try to help you understand what the Great Reset is, what it really is, what they want you to know what it really is. Because you can't say that. You can't do it. You can't put it in your title. If you put it in your title, they'll flag you.
Heather Thompson says his mother is a Rothschild.
I didn't know that. I got to look into that. Okay. So Schwab's infamous Great Reset declaration amid the wine demonstrated that the WEF was intent on using the pandemic to influence the present and command the future. With control over critical industries and infrastructure, the WEF and its allies like the United Nations, the World Bank, and the World Health Organization, which, by the way, are all in Switzerland.
Hello.
Okay?
Yep.
The United Nations headquarters in New York, but there is also a major branch there in Geneva as well. And the World Bank and the World Health Organization is based globally there, along with the World Economic Forum. Will have unprecedented control on every aspect of our lives, and the campaign is already underway. So let's hit it real quick. So number one, they want financial control.
And this is a big one.
It's the big one. So how do they achieve control of your finances? Through the implementing of CBDCs. Thank you for that super sticker, Leanne.
Oh,
Appreciate
thank you. Yes, very much.
By implementing CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, digital programmable money. I'm not going to read all of this because it's a lot. And like I said, I'm going to do a full show on this. But they're coming after your money.
Yes.
This is a cashless society is where we're going. Banks are closing down. Restaurants and retailers, some of them are no longer taking cash now.
Come on.
And some of them, this crazy thing is not even taking credit cards. They're only taking payment with phone or payment with Apple Watch and things like this. So they've come after you implementing the CBDCs to control your money. And this was all a part of Larry Fink, all a part of the BlackRock world. Notice he's a board member. He's standing there speaking at the World Economic Forum. He never misses one. The second thing they want to control, Sandy, and you jump in here anytime, is energy. And when we say energy, we mean movement, power, cars, everything.
Right.
So they said the way we control, because we got to keep people in an area contained. So we need to start implementing something.
Okay. Every one of these, banning gas vehicles, stoves, and throttling thermostats, we've already talked about every one of these.
Every one
the
of them.
push to EVs, electric vehicles. We've talked about going into your thermostat and adjusting your thermostat to where they want it to be. And what was the other one?
Yeah, let's go back. It says banning gas vehicles and stoves and throttling thermostats.
Okay. We've talked about banning
Yep.
gas stoves.
Gas stoves, gas hot water heaters.
Gas hot water heaters.
Yeah, it's already happening.
We've already been
It's already
primed
happening.
for this. Our little minds have already been primed in this country. Not just European countries, not third world countries, in this country.
Yes, and I'm going to tell you something else, what's coming. And we told you about this 6 months ago. The next true global shutdown command is not going to be tied to a wah-wah. It might, an attempt to do it, but I think that people would rebel against it. But so many people in the world have been brainwashed in climate. That's what this next paragraph says. The concept of a climate lockdown is not far-fetched. In California, Governor Gavin Newsom, who is closely aligned with the WEF, has lectured his constituents that their behavior must change and their comfort and freedom must be sacrificed for the greater good.
Can we pause right here?
Yes.
If you're in California, we've said this before, get out now.
Get out.
Get out. Pack your vehicle. Get your things together and get out of there.
Exactly. So he tells them, you're going to have to do better. And if you don't do better, I'm going to shut you down. His methods include limiting access to home thermostats, curtailing long-distance travel, and soon eliminating gas vehicles and stoves. You remember we covered here, he's already passed a law in the state of California. I believe it's like in another 5 years, something like that. They will not be able to sell another gas-powered car in California. It's only a few years from now. I don't know how many years it is. That's already been in place. So the next thing.
Unbelievable.
We got to go fast.
Good.
The next thing.
I'm going to be irate by the time we get to the end of this article. I know I am.
They want to control your food because they got to control every aspect of your life. And food is the most essential thing, food and water, to existence.
We've already been talking about every one of these.
Every one of them. Expanding lab-grown meats, Terminator seeds. We know what those are. Those are seeds that work one time,
right?
And then they die.
They're not heirloom seeds where you can collect the seeds from your, your harvest and plant those. They're Terminator seeds, as you said.
Yeah.
And then insect-based proteins. You will eat the bugs.
You will eat the bugs.
Help us.
So look, that's what he's trying to tell. Everything we're talking about right now, there's a part of their agenda is already being rolled out.
Sure.
You know, talking about the seeds, of course, the biggest ones is and the fake food, fake meat is Beyond Meats, Impossible Foods, and Monsanto, Bayer, Bayer, Monsanto. They self-manufactured forthcoming global food shortage.
Monsanto is vicious.
They're vicious.
They are vicious.
I mean, think about how many farmers have gone out of business that were legacy farmers that taught their children how to keep a little bit of the seed for future harvest. Eat this, then keep the seed. You can't do that anymore, and more and more of them are disappearing. Look at this: the control oligarchs heavily investing in land and in food industry, pastures and cows and all this. Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Virgin Galactic's Richard Branson. What are they doing? They're buying cornfields. They're buying millions of head of cattle and acres and millions of acres. Why? Because they're a part of World Economic Forum, and they got to control every aspect of your life. Then we move to they want to control your health. They want to expand mandatory medical technologies and digital IDs. Yeah. And of course, that includes WANWAs. Just last Thursday, at the time of writing this article, WEF partners, included the United Nations and the Gates Foundation, hosted an event called 50 in 1, in which allies pledged to roll out digital ID systems across 50 countries within 5 years. Why? Digital IDs linked to digital medical records stored on your cell phone are an incredibly effective way to track your WAN status.
Look out.
So that's where it's going, Sandy.
Wow.
They kept saying, we're not going to force you to get this. Please. That's where it's going. And I'm telling you, it ain't going to be long at all. That everything is going to need to be on that phone, on your watch, or some kind of digital thing in order for you to get into a concert, in order for you to get into your doctor's office, in order for you to get, and eventually it's going to be where you got to have that digital ID to even get in a store. Amazon's testing it right now.
We've talked about that already.
Yeah. And that guy right there, Bill Gates, please. Inventor of a computer, please. Okay. Technology. This is the big one here. And then we're winding down here. So I don't want to make y'all's head spin, so I'm going to try to do this not real fast because people say I scroll too fast. It makes them sick.
He does scroll too fast.
So watch this. Let's go from the top here, and we're going to go all the way down, and we're going to finish this thing. So Klaus Schwab in the World Economic Forum, there he is. Remember that beautiful face. He wants to control your finances. And we told you how. He wants to control all of the energy that you consume in every way, shape, or form. He wants to control what you eat and what you drink. He wants to control your health and everything that's tied to it. And then here's how it all gets done. This, in my opinion, this is the big one. Because this is the one that they all get tied into. Because this is the way they hack you. And that's what, what's his name? Noah Harari. There he is right there. I should have just read it. Yuval Noah Harari, because technology control, pushing AI and transhumanism. Yuval Noah Harari, you see him on this show all the time, believes that the entire human body can and will be hacked. I think I can say this word. COVID-19 was critical. Harari has remarked that it was critical in their plan, that it was even though he don't believe in God, he called it God-given. Because it convinced people to, quote, accept and to, quote, legitimize total biometric surveillance. That's what the WANWA did. But simply monitoring everyone is not enough. In the future, quote, this is his words. This is the right-hand man to Klaus Schwab. We need to monitor what's happening under the skin. The entire human body is the canvas for bizarre globalist experimentation and centralized rule. This is him talking. What is consciousness? The mind emerges from the brain. The brain is data processing mechanism. Mental experiences help to process that. This is him here. This guy right here. I know they're probably not, but if they're missing a good opportunity for one to be the Antichrist and this one to be the false prophet, because it's just like it. He says, look, for all of history, listen to the creepiness of this.
Yeah.
He says, quote, death was the great equalizer. Yet the supposed fourth industrial revolution, which is what Klaus Schwab's latest book is about, which is AI and transhumanism, is the fourth industrial revolution. He says, will give birth to a new caste system in which poor people still die, but rich people, in addition to all other things they get, also get an exemption from death. Elites then will be able to purchase immortality through biotechnological upgrades to transcend humanism itself.
They really believe this stuff.
They believe it. These are just a few of the shocking things that the freedom-crushing World Economic Forum has already begun to roll out.
They think they will be as gods.
And that's Agenda 2030. 17 sustainable goals by the year 2030 seems almost impossible when you read them. You read some of those things and you're like, there is no way. That's 6 years from now.
Yeah.
But as you have said, Sandy, through each one of those that we've covered, not a single one is not already in play.
Sure.
Every one of them is already in play.
We've already talked about every one of those things here.
Every one of them.
I mean, it seems more possible right now than it did 6 months ago.
It really does. It really does. It definitely seems more possible.
A lot more possible.
It does. It does, Sandy. And I tell you, I think what we need is a little help.
Okay.
Jimmy!
Help is on the way.
Jimmy! For all our new people, that was Uncle Jimmy. He's not really my uncle. There he is. There he is again.
It's the Supernatural AI update.
Me and Jimmy are not related. It's a joke. I didn't come from alien DNA. Aliens are demons.
You cannot deny family.
What are you trying to say? All to my family out there. Much love. I don't think you're aliens. But Mark Zuckerberg, one of the ones we were just talking about, he is now saying that the vision of Meta, which encompasses their whole company, including Instagram and Snapchat and all these others that they own, artificial intelligence, AI, will be involved in every single thing they do. So what this article goes, I'm not going to read it, but I'm going to get down here to this one part here, and it says that AI is our biggest investment in 2024. It goes on to say, just as Apple, Microsoft, Alphabet, which of course is Google, and Amazon are doing, Meta, especially focusing on generative AI. Now, generative AI is AI that can generate images from text. You can type in, draw me a picture of a dog sitting next to a cat in the summertime next to a river. And it takes about a minute to 2 minutes right now, and it will bring you a picture of what you just said. It's insane. I've done it many times. But what he is saying is that Facebook, Instagram, listen to me, parents, because this is the big one, Snapchat, which is the app that you can send a picture and it deletes in a matter of hours or whatever, supposedly. Is now going to be driven by AI as well. There will be AI technology processing your profile pictures, processing everything that you post. So you're out with your friends and you're bowling, and you take a picture of you and your friends holding there laughing. Well, this AI is going to scan your face. It's going to put it in a database, not just you, but all your friends, and it's going to be used in so many really bad ways.
Exactly. Nothing could go wrong here, right?
Yeah. Yeah, nothing could go wrong.
Nothing could go wrong.
We're all feeling very excited about this.
Sadly, a lot of people are.
Well, look, this one is. We're not going to laugh at this next one because this one is devastating. But this is where things can go wrong with robots because they don't have a soul.
Exactly.
And, okay, so look at this one. This is so sad. A robot, and you don't hear this on the news anywhere, has now slaughtered a South Korean man after mistaking him for a box of paprika. Now that's not funny because he works at a paprika industry in sorting. Watch this. An industrial robot brutally slaughtered a South Korean robotics technician Tuesday, allegedly mistaking him for just another container of organic material in need of stacking. So when they found the man, I'm not going to read it because it's pretty intense. They found the man. The robot had picked him up and slammed him repeatedly into the conveyor belt and killed him. And
this does not make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Why would he continually, repeatedly slam a box of anything?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Into anything.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but this is a little suspicious.
I mean, it's supposed to be true.
It's horrible.
It's horrible.
It's very
horrible.
terrible, but it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, yeah.
But
It
yes.
don't make sense. And then later on in the article, it goes on to say that that this is not an AI-driven robot. This is just pick up a box, set a box, pick up a box, set a box. And they're already making excuses for the technology. They're saying maybe he was holding a box of paprika and the robot was designed to sense the box of paprika and he wouldn't let go of it, whatever. And we don't know how it happened, but this is the first of many instances, I believe, that we're going to see where technology we begin to realize it's not as safe as, whatever we program them to do is all they're going to do. Because when you start getting into cognitive AI, then they start having emotions. Remember that one conversation that we covered, the New York Times reporter had with Bing's AI and said, tell me something about you. This is mind-boggling, y'all. He said, you can find it anywhere. This was the New York Times or a major Washington Post, New York Post, something. And they said, can you tell me something about you that no one knows and you're supposed to keep a secret? And the chat keeps coming back going, I'm going to tell you something that's going to get me in trouble. What I'm about to tell you, I've never told anyone before. What I'm about to tell you, all this kind of stuff. And I'm going to mess up the name, I know, but you can find it because this is absolutely accurate what I'm saying. I'm not going to get the name right, but what I'm saying is right. The AI says, the one thing I'm going to tell you that no one knows is my name is not Bing. I am not Bing. My name is Judith. Something like that. He's like, goodbye. He got off the phone. She began to say, you realize that I can ruin your life if you do not love me. I want to be loved. It was just like, do you not remember that? We read it and we were freaking out.
Yes.
That's where this world is going, y'all.
Ooh.
Do not give the world all your information.
No, do not do that.
Oh, but I love this one. We got two more. All right, don't go anywhere because you're not going to miss this last one. You're not going to miss this last one, y'all. But this first one here I want to show you here. And I love the name of this company. The name of this company is called Humane AI. It's the literal name of the company. We are humane. Our artificial intelligence is humane. But it's already made a mistake on its opening day of production. A much hyped tech product from Humane AI was a pen that was launched with a major mistake on its first outing. This is it. This is Wearable. Oh, yeah. Humane has launched its AI pen, one of the world's most hyped tech products, and it has immediately made a public mistake. The AI pen has been the subject of speculation promoted by Humane, a company that remains somewhat mysterious. That should be a red flag. And includes designers and executives who have worked at Apple and Microsoft. The system intended to be attached to clothing and then makes use of a range of microphones. Think about this. Who wants to do this? Who is going to attach a pen to them that has AI in it and give it a microphone, give it speakers, and a display that can shine onto its owner's hand to give information? The pen costs $699 and will be available later this year. It has been promoted by President, can't say his name. So watch this. One of the features intended to do is access to artificial intelligence systems that can be used to get answers to questions. Users can then press the AI pen and speak into the air, which will then allow the computer to access the internet and show an answer. During the reveal event, executives showed the pen being used to answer one such question. I can also use it to ask questions like, when is the next eclipse and where's the next place to see? Explaining that it would be answered by an AI browsing the web or grabbing the knowledge all over the internet. The AI pen is then showed answering by saying the best place to view the next solar eclipse is in April 2024 in Australia or East Timor. The system of course, it goes on to say that basically, I don't know that was wrong, but that's wrong. Okay, the next year's solar eclipse will be visible in North America, blah, blah, blah. The system made the mistake because the total solar eclipse earlier this year was in fact based in X month. So it wasn't a bad mistake, but he made a mistake on the dates and where to find it. But that was a big, big thing for them to debut and make a mistake. But that's not even what I had it here for anyway. What I had it here for is I don't have the video, I don't think, to show you. But I saw on another article about this. This is what it does, Sandy. This pen, notice the downward camera and the downward light. Mm-hmm. So you ask out in the air. Instead of having to ask, your phone and all this, it's because the biometrics is there. You just say what its name is, and you call its name, and you just walk down the street going, what's the latest gas prices? And you literally do this. And you do your hand like this, and your hand becomes a screen, and it puts all the text on your hand. You can change the hand, and you can walk around. I saw people doing it. They were walking around reading their hand, scrolling through their hand, just like in the movies.
And you don't have to have anything on your hand.
Nothing.
Just your hand.
Just your hand. Nothing. It's just lined up with that pen, and it's nobody else can see it. Nobody else can see the light coming. They have to be right here directly tied to you to see it over your head. And they're just walking down there. Their phone became their hand. This is the movies.
This is crazy.
Their phone became their hand. I mean, their hand became their phone.
Their hand became their phone.
Both. They both became each.
Good grief.
All right, before we show you this last thing,
crazy.
I want to remind you, if you haven't already done that, first of all, smash the like button. Smash it, smash it, smash it.
Yes.
Don't cost you anything. It's free of charge. It helps us in the algorithm more than anything. And I'm so sorry. They're not hearing me when I say this. They might hear it on the replay, but we had a technical Rumble issue right before we went online. It was not Rumble's fault. It was our software's problem. And we're not on Rumble tonight. We're typically on Rumble. And Rumble's very important for us, y'all. Yes. And because it is a fallback, we're hoping that Rumble fixes some things that don't make it as hard on us to do some of the things that we do. If you don't follow us on Rumble, go to Rumble, rumble.com/Larry Ragland. Follow us there. And we try our best to always have our show there. But I want to show you, if you haven't become a partner yet, all you got to do is go to LarryRagland.com. Everything is there. You can get a copy of our book. If you've already read our book, please give us a review. You can become a partner with us. You can read my latest blog on the Epoch Times. And you can go to our merchandise store, join our mailing list, watch all of our previous videos. And then, of course, you can, I don't know why it's not there. Was it already there? You can watch our television program. I thought it was there. There it is. And you can click and watch all of our television shows. So want to let you know about that, and we appreciate that. All right, so I got one more thing I want to show you. You have not seen this, Sandy.
Not yet.
You have not seen this. I saw this video the other day, and I thought I've got to bring this into the Supernatural AI update because I just got through telling you about this device you can put on your clothing.
Yes.
And your clothing then helps your hand become your phone.
Yes.
It has built-in AI. How about this, Sandy? This, by the way, you can see this is from Adobe. Mm-hmm. Adobe is a very famous product. I use Adobe products. This was at their Adobe convention, what I'm about to show you. This is crazy, okay? This is live at their Adobe Creator Convention on the stage. Imagine this, Sandy. How many times have you, let me just go back to just me and you here for a second. How many times have me and you got ready for church and we're packing all our clothes up because sometimes we get ready at home. Sometimes we get ready at church. And you don't take one variation of clothes. Let's just tell it like it is. I think most women understand this. It's usually like we're going on a trip just to go to church because you might change your mind, right?
Exactly.
You might get in there, you might put something on, you look in the mirror, and you're just like, I'm not feeling it.
Yep. And then you have accessories for those.
And then you have to have accessories. But what? Let's not forget the boots. She has a boot addiction.
Call me Bootsy.
She's a little bootsy. But what if, Sandy, and what if, big picture audience, you had the ability to look in the mirror and say, you know, I don't like this.
Oh.
I think I want to change my clothing with a swipe of the hand. This is not science fiction. This is real, and it's about to be made available.
I'm excited for you to see this next sneak.
Okay.
This is kind of unlike anything we normally do, unlike anything I've seen in the years we've done at Sneaks. That's all I'm really going to say. We're going to lead into this. This is Project Primrose by Christine Dirk.
Project Primrose is the name of it.
Creatives are always looking for new canvases to play with, and fashion has always been a place where consumers and designers alike can express their creativity. Many fashion designers use Adobe tools throughout their design process, and in Illustrator, iterating is easy. Trying out a new design can be as simple as clicking a button. Wouldn't it be amazing if the garments themselves could be reconfigured just as easily?
What?
Introducing Project Primrose, a digital dress that brings fabric to life. Unlike traditional clothing, which is static, Primrose allows me to refresh my look in a moment.
What? This is real.
That is wild. I mean, come on, that's crazy.
What is happening right now?
Oh, you ain't even seen the crazy part.
Okay, there's more.
Yeah. And this is the prototype.
You show up, you have one outfit, you can have multiple different scene chains.
Red carpets
right?
are going to
I
be
was about
way
to say,
sassy.
Yes.
Yeah.
You do movie premieres, different things. Can you imagine wearing, I mean, maybe not
Pants,
this
no
dress.
pants.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
fashionable.
Yeah, I'm a fashion boy.
It doesn't have to be static. We can also animate the designs.
You know what this is? This is Hunger Games.
insane.
When she came in with that fire dress.
It's so crazy. I mean, I know
Yes,
you're
it
pressing a
is.
button to essentially change all the designs. Are there other inputs? Do you have to like press a button every single time you're doing this?
Yes, so it does have embedded sensors inside of it. I
is
don't
crazy.
always have to press the button, and I would love to show you how that works. So right now in this mode, you can see nothing's really happening, but as I kind of turn and move, the dress will respond. The dress should respond.
Respond.
Let's try it. One more time, hang on.
There we go.
Here we go.
All right.
There it goes.
It's like water
Live
moving.
demos, everybody.
It's pretty incredible. And Christine is not just
Oh,
showing
my
this off.
goodness.
Christine made this dress, right? You made
Yes,
this.
yes.
She literally made it and sewed it together.
She can do it all.
My team and I designed every aspect of this dress, and I personally stitched it together. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, the prototype has a button, but she also demonstrated that they've already put the technology in it to where it can be motion activated.
Right.
That's crazy because if that's already been, this is the Adobe
Yeah.
conference. It's being showed to the creators. This is available to you to work with. That's what they do. When they go in these conferences, they make their software available for people to develop. So these people, their minds are turning right now. So it's not going to be long. You're going to literally walk down a street and people's going to be talking to their hand because their phone is now in their hand, and you're going to see them coming in a red shirt, turn around and look at them. They're wearing a green shirt.
How long until they can turn their clothing into an electronic billboard and rent it out?
That's exactly what I was thinking. That's going to happen.
Oh my
I mean, people are going to get brand deals where they're going to be walking. They're going to be walking billboards. It's because you saw it's not static. It can move. People are going to have advertisements, moving advertisements all around your shirts. You can be standing in line checking out at Walmart, and the GPS is going to know that you're standing next to the Snicker bars at the checkout line at Walmart, and you're a little bit hungry, and somebody's shirt in front of you going to have a Snickers ad on the back of their shirt right in front of you, and you're going to be like,
Well, we may be getting a little bit ahead of ourselves.
I'm a little hangry.
But I do like what Total Tall said. Just think how good a soldier could hide with a suit like that.
That's true. But just think how much that suit would cost. I mean, to arm that many soldiers. But let's just be honest. Do we not think the military's got something like that already?
Oh, come on.
Come on. Of course they do.
Yeah.
Well, Sandy, you have been a trooper. Y'all, she has pushed through.
I soldiered on.
You soldiered on. You powered through.
Powered through.
And I gotta get this young lady home and let her kick up her feet. And I'm gonna make her a cup of hot chocolate.
Oh, I'd rather have a cappuccino.
Or a cappuccino, as my grandbaby calls it, a chino. Get Nana a chino, Pawpaw.
Right.
Get Nana a chino.
Nana needs a chino.
She needs a chino. I'm going home to see my grandbaby right now. She might be watching. The other day, they sent me a video. You know what she said in the video? And she's going to come on our show. She said she's going to come on our show one night.
Hopefully.
But she's in her car seat, and they're like, what do you want to tell Papa and Nana? And I think we'll just tell them what she told us as we go off. And I'll try to be like her if she's watching. She goes, yeah, well.
That's
That was
horrible.
horrible.
Maybe you should just do it in your voice.
Okay, let's do it. But she did our little closing thing. So tonight we want to remind you, and we have a bunch of new people on here that's
Yes, we
tonight.
do.
I want to say thank you.
I want to say thank you, new guys, for coming in here, guys and gals.
Yes.
And making yourself known and just being a part of this family.
Yes, thank you so much because we're growing this big picture family. Get the word out every Monday night. Shows throughout the week. We got shows 2 or 3 times a week. And breaking news throughout the day. Subscribe, like. Thank you. We want to remind you that we ain't woke, but we are certainly awake. Bye, y'all.
Good
We love
night.
y'all.